Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always. This is my bar, the place I am always at, and this here is Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 299. Let's get cooking, ladies and gentlemen, because unfortunately the chapter dropped a little late and I've been feeling under the weather this weekend, so I just want to apologize for the lateness of this review. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, but hopefully, as you could probably tell from my One Piece review, which was kind of scattershot and not very polished, this review, hopefully I'll do a little better, but I'm still feeling a little nasally, a little headachy, so sorry about that, guys. But let's get cooking nonetheless. 300 is on our way. It's on its way, and I'm wondering what we're going to get. Because mangaka's always used the milestones of the hundreds to showcase something, to reveal something. So are we going to get Azami showing back on scene? Are we going to see, I don't know, the Bookmaster's real identity, who I still believe is either Arena's grandmother or mother? There's a potential there for 300 to be a big deal. And we can tell by 299, the way it wrapped up very quickly, that could be a thing. Now, here is the problem with the chapter. If you are any sort of Takumi fan, you're going to have a problem with this chapter. If you've been following since day one, remembering that people might argue Arena being Soma's original rival, but a lot of people would also make the argument that Takumi is actually his original first rival. And we've seen that. Now, I'm not his hugest fan. In my opinion, it was the autumn selection, the height of this series, which was the autumn election selection, it depends on your translation, when we had Ryo, when we had Hayama, and we had Soma, the monster trio of Shokugeki no Soma, the new generation of the top three, the best. They were going to be a monstrous trio that were going to work in a 3-on-3 battle, probably against the Elite 10's top three or something. It was going to be a battle of power, and it was going to be a struggle, and it was going to be awesome. These were going to be the three main pillars of strength in the next generation. That fell to the wayside, and I'm very disappointed by that. But some fans would be even more disappointed by the Takumi treatment of being the original rival with the Mezzaluna and all that stuff, and now up to this point being included in the blue by popularity alone, but maybe not so much by merit. Here's the issue with the chapter. We get that the chapter does its thing. We have the Escanor reject looking worse and worse all the time, scared out of his wits that somebody else can use the Mezzaluna to a good efficiency with Takumi, so he's worried as hell. Clearly, they were very worried about this dual ability that he's got, this sword dance ability, superhuman prowess. Once again, the superhuman prowess thing, whatever, we'll just move on. They make a rain in Yin Yang, title of the chapter. Of course, it smokes out and they win the fight. So clearly the pacing here, the pacing is a thing. The editors are saying, look, you tried a bunch of plot threads, it didn't take, you tried to oversaturate. We had the Noir Chef, we have the Blue Competition, Arena's Kidnapping, School Life, Elite 10, we had all this stuff. It was oversaturation in this arc at the very beginning, trying to find something that works, and unfortunately it just made a mess. So now we're just trying to speed through this, and hopefully we get through it onto something better, onto a better arc. This is the full bring arc of Shokugeki. Hopefully we can get through it. And it shows in this chapter, because one of the key moments, one of the key things, because the rest of the chapter, as I said, not really going to talk about it. They made the recipe, they made the rain, the yin and yang symbol, it beat out Escanor ripoffs, and they won in the end. The big thing in this chapter is an insult to Takumi fans. Once again, not the biggest fan. I thought Ryo and Hayama made a much better dynamic. This triple set of powerhouse pillars of the next generation was a way better concept. But Takumi was there before them. And he has been a rival, though a mistreated rival by the writing, for a very long time. And this just hammers it home even worse. I can feel it. Not being a Takumi fan, but I can feel the problems. They flashbacked the main character arc development, the rematch that so many fans were waiting for. I know it's a big thing. To me, it's not. But I can understand why this is a bit of a kidney shot to a lot of the fans. We get a couple of pages of flashback for the main Takumi versus Soma, again, rematch with the Mezzaluna on the line. Flashback? And not even given justice. We don't even know what they made. And then they have the nerve to show, okay, well, Takumi has been this grand this whole time, and he managed to beat Soma once. And then it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay, like, I know what they were trying to do, but this, if nothing else to you guys felt rushed before, this should say how rushed this is. This should have been a 2 to 3 chapter dedication near the end of the series. Takumi finally, having his rematch with Soma and maybe winning out in the end by his own merit. Growing since all these competitions and all these strong opponents just for the chance to get back at Soma with a rematch, an honest rematch of skill. Doing it this way just makes it feel lackluster. It's been flashbacked. That is such poor treatment of a main staple that we have been waiting for, following these characters this whole time. And I can understand why Takumi fans would be very upset by this, especially how comedic it was treated. It wasn't even treated well, like as a flashback. Takumi gets his victory, then Soma gets a victory, then Takumi gets a victory, back and forth with the Mezzaluna. Now, another thing is that I have a problem with is the Eskimo ripoff is they're saying now this could be a translation thing, but he goes, how can, Soma do that? I thought only his brother could, bring out sword dance, the superhuman ability of Takumi. And then it's like, okay, Takumi brings up, he goes, yes, that'd be usually true, but there is one other man that can do that. And, this has been established over the years. I'm like, you've known him for like 8 months, dude. They've literally gone to school for about a year. About a year. Okay? If you want to say it's been 15 months, if you want to say it's even 2 years, nobody says, oh, over all these years. All these years at a maximum of 2, and that's being generous, ladies and gentlemen. That's being generous. That it's been 2 years since they first met. Not since they started the academy, but since they first met. It's been 2 years at most. And it hasn't been, but let's just say it has. If that's even the case, and you could say it's been over 24 months, nobody would say over the long years or over the years. Like, that is just, please tell me that that's not the thing. Over the years? Really? Now, I have like bottles of water in my truck that are that old. Like, come on. Like, don't give me that. Like, that's ridiculous. The fact that they're like, yes, it's because of all the long years. No, a better way to say it would have been, I've been cooking with him for a long time, and after rematch, and we even got the flashback. Like, you didn't need to put the year line. I don't know why I'm harping on this, guys, but I feel like this really bugged me. Something about this, once again, could just be a translation thing, so we'll have to wait. But over the years, really, like it should just say, like, over the long time of, we just got the flashback showing that they rematched and rematched and rematched. It could have been over the long amount of battles, losses and wins I've had with him. Over all this time, a bond has been formed, a true rivalry bond that can match a brother's bond. A blood bond of a brother can be just as strong as a rivalry bond with a friend. Something like I know that sounds cheesy, but does that not sound better than what we got? Like, there's something wrong with the writing currently. Are they sick? Are they sick or something? Like, have they been under the weather for the last year or something like that? Because none of this is really making too much sense to me. It's just, it could be done so easily. Even with all the bad things that have gone on, I just fixed a potential problem with this chapter that shouldn't have even been a problem to begin with, even with all the problems with the arc as a whole. So, I know I'm harping on this, guys, but just little things like that at this point are starting to irritate me, because I'm trying to just look at it chapter by chapter and see the good parts. But all this was an insult to Takumi fans, an insult to long-standing readers of the series. The chapter itself was fast-paced and rushed, because now the whole arc has to be fast-paced and rushed. And then they don't even give justice to the flashback arcs. They put in stupid lines like, over the years. You've known him a maximum of 2. Nobody's over the long number of years when it's 2 years. That's a couple. It's nothing. So, there's something about this. I don't know. The chapter itself, overall, was, as I said, fast-paced, but we knew what the answer was going to be. We knew Soma showing up, blah, blah, blah. Clearly, Megumi and Takumi are going to beat out Tsukasa somehow in the blue competition. I mean, I know it's based on who you face, but what? And I mean, now, like, and once again, how would, like, everyone was like, oh, well, he needs the knife. He wants the Mezzaluna because then cross knives and he'll get the ability, you know, sort of idea. Unless they do a tag battle like the end of the Regiment de Cuisine, that ability apparently does jack when it's not a team battle. So it wouldn't have been that big a loss. And don't tell me you are going to end the same way with a Soma Arena pair-up against, I don't know, Ashia and somebody else, the Bookmaster, I don't know. Don't end it the same way as Regiment de Cuisine. But then, once again, it wouldn't have mattered if he had won or lost. Cross knives is not going to be useful taking a tag, like taking a duo ability in a 1v1. He's not going to be able to use. Like, I just don't know. Now, as I said before, I am hoping that Soma's actual ability has been showcased before with all the swords behind him. He uses a kind of a flipped version of cross knives. It's his true ability, and he'll awaken it, and that'll be the kind of the Deus Ex ass pull that'll work. But at least it has some merit, some foreshadowing, and some establishment that Soma might not be strong enough on his own to beat a better opponent, but with all the skills and all the swords of all the other great skilled chefs around him, his friends, he's able to attack multiple times with multiple techniques and swords, and that's enough to crack 1v1 an opponent, because he's not battling just as himself. He's battling with the power of his friends and stuff behind him, not in a fairy tale level-esque skill, but at least it would work. So, anyways, that's the chapter, guys. I'm sorry, a little bit of a rant there at the end. That's the chapter. That's the review. What did you guys think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, what do you think is going to happen for chapter 300? We're going to get the Bookmaster's identity revealed. Are we going to see Azami again? Is there going to be something even grander going on? I'm hoping, as I said, I hope this year was going to be the start. But right now, we're in the middle of February, and I'm not seeing anything better. So maybe 300 will be the big turnaround. Or maybe this is, once again, as I keep harping on, this is the full-bring arc from Bleach in Shokugeki, and we just need to get through it. We need to get through the worst to get back to better. Maybe not the best, but at least better than this. So hopefully there's something left, a better idea. I feel like, once again, oversaturation has been a problem with this arc, but potentially we still have some core greatness in Shokugeki, and I'm waiting for it. I'm hoping for it. 300 could be the milestone to change it all. I'm holding out hope to this day. What do you guys think? As always, this has been Griever. Drink responsibly and keep cooking, guys. We'll see you next time.